Hello, everybody. Jeremy Kane here, eXp Realty, Jeremy Kane Homes. Just doing the weekly Why Invest Wednesday. Thanks for joining in. Please, as always, give us a comment. What's up, Walter? I see you on Instagram. Comment, like, share, do your thing. Hopefully, we can turn this into a more interactive piece. But we're talking about you mortgage lenders today and the lending process. Had a couple rough runs lately, so we will kind of discuss just the process and what things mean, and hopefully help everybody out in the process. As here's where the fun begins. That's right, Walter, over there on Instagram. But yeah, everything's going well in the markets. Things are kind of taking a little hiatus for 4th of July. Things are still moving. Buyers are still, having to come full force, but there's definitely a distracted period. I'm going to get some of my buyers out this weekend to get out there and hopefully they get to enjoy the wonderful loan process as we talk about this. So here's the deal. I work with some of the best professionals, hands down, in the industry as far as lending partners and things like that. And this is not this is not their thing. But basically, what happens when you get a loan? You're going to do an application. It's a long process. They're going to ask for some basic documents. They're going to review them, the mortgage broker or banker, depending on what that is. And there's a little confusion. I, in fact, myself call these people lenders. They technically are not the lender. They are the mortgage professional, whether that's a broker, banker, whatever. And so that's your point of contact. That's who you know. That's who talks to you. That's who gathers your documents, puts your file together, and sends to the people that send the money out, or the group that sends the money out, at least. So they're going to put your application together. They're going to look at it from their experience. They're going to look at things that you're going to need, what you're going to want, and then they're going to send that into their processor. Actually, we'll probably get everything together and get that file onto what we call underwriting, not the undertaker, underwriter. But sometimes it kind of feels like they're the undertaker. But so the underwriter looks at the file. They send it to underwriting usually before the appraisal. Then they pop out with a conditional approval saying, yeah, that person looks good on paper. Once we get the appraisal, we'll really dive into it. So you got to have the underwriters. You first start hearing about the underwriter around week 1 or 2 usually. Some of them are sending them over earlier for these home run loans. They kind of call them. They all have call it something different, where you're fully approved before you even have a property. But then the underwriter is going to send it back and say, okay, yeah, that's good. Send it back to me when we have the appraisal. The underwriter, the final underwrite, and this is where people get so confused. I had a client today. I have another client today that's working through some issues, and the underwriter is going to go over with a fine-tooth comb, and their job is to verify that, first of all, the loan is a good loan, that you're able to pay it back. It's not a bad loan for you. It's fair, and so on. Just make sure all the numbers work. And a lot of people get confused, but these Fannie Mae, Freddie Mae, Ginnie Mae, those are it's a government formed entity that basically buys most of the loans that we see. And I know that, those of us that have had mortgages and the servicers buy it, that's different. Okay, so the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mae, Ginnie buys the FHA loans, the government loans. Fannie and Freddie buy your conventional loans. They basically are the rule makers of what's going on. So, for instance, today I have an FHA loan on a manufactured home. Everyone was good. We've asked all, do we have everything we need? Do we have the plate? Do we have all this? The final underwriter looked at it today, and we need an inspection, an FHA inspection, or basically an engineer to go out and say the home is adhered permanently to the foundation. So why is that such a major deal? Why can't we just look the other way? So on and so forth. The point is that the underwriter is making sure that it's called an engineer's report. Thanks, Walter. The underwriter is making sure that this loan, now that we made sure it's a good loan for you and you're qualified to pay it off, the underwriter is making sure that they can sell that loan, because the lender is not in the business to service loans. They're in the business to provide the cash to close so that the seller can walk away with their money, and the buyer can get the home, secured with a deed of trust. So there are little things that come up in that final underwrite that, they're really the guideline seekers. And so that's why at the last minute, we sometimes get these things that don't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Like, why can't we just not do that? Or why do we need that? It's really because they want to be able to sell that loan because they cannot service it. That's not what they do. So that's the most stressful, hardest part. That's why they're asking you for, 3 days of bank statements that are missing from, this or that. They are actually in the data looking to make sure that every single guideline is met, so that when they give the money away, they can go turn around the next day or month or year or whatever it is and sell the loan based on these guidelines. Okay. We're FHA, so we are Ginnie Mae certified. We have all of these things because when those investors go to buy those loans, they're going to have those same guidelines, and they need to make sure all those boxes are checked. In the event those boxes are not checked, then those lenders can't sell the loan, and then we have a whole different problem. So that is why, the underwriter takes that final look and that final overview of the whole loan, looking at everything, guidelines, making sure that everything is there in that package, so they basically can take it from the closing table and sell it behind the scenes. And who knows what they sell it for, how that's all worked out, interest rates paid, whatever. That's not for us to explain today, but that is why the underwriter is always looking for something at the end of the thing. So that, although it's very confusing, understand that these mortgage professionals do their best up front. They're looking to get everything. They want to have everything there. And then, at the end of the day, sometimes there's one or two other things that you need, or the underwriter's like, I just want to see that just to make sure nothing fishy's going on, things like that. Another on the front end, sometimes things get messed up with how you get the funds, from this account to that account, or just basically making sure that the funds are actually good, hard-earned money and not made illegally, because that obviously would be a problem. So all of that said, the loan process is super, super confusing. Make sure you're talking to the top mortgage professionals always. I have plenty that I can refer you to, but definitely, even sometimes there's stuff that comes up or something that changes that the mortgage broker banker can't control, and we need to get that taken care of so we're within the guidelines and move forward. So other things, obviously, the whole process from start to end is application. Your mortgage banker broker will get with their processor, send things over. Sorry about that. Get everything sent over. The underwriter will look at it. Then at some point you have an appraisal who's a third-party company through an appraisal management company. Individual is going to come out, do a report on the property, make sure everything's good to go. And then the report comes back, and the underwriter is going to go through that with a fine-tooth comb, make sure all of that's correct, make sure there's no issues there, because we've had that happen too, where the appraiser checks the wrong box, or the underwriter has a clarification on something that's going on. So then they send that from the underwriter after they get the appraisal. Then they have the whole package. They look through it again, and then they send it to the title company. That's the loan's done. Now the title company and the lender have to balance figures, and then we can actually close and get you to where you're supposed to be. So yeah, that's absolutely where it's going from there. That's the loan process, and absolutely we all need it, but sometimes it's super frustrating. I've been frustrated most of this week, just with these last second things and helping my buyers understand what's going on. So at the end of the day, we are working through that. Now it's 4th of July. We got a holiday thrown in the mix here. Hope everybody has a great 4th of July. Be safe. Do your thing. Celebrate the independence of America. That's always fun. Freedom is cool. And then we got the Major League All-Star game. It kind of seems like it's last second. I've been driving around downtown. There's a couple banners up and things like that. So we'll leave the All-Star game at that. But apparently we do have a baseball team here still. They they're still playing games. So go Rockies, I guess, and we'll turn our eyes to the Broncos here shortly. But not a ton going on besides 4th of July. Be safe. Don't start fires. Respect those pups around your neighborhood, because I know some of my dogs and friends' dogs don't love the craziness, but it is what it is. Maybe we can keep that 4th of July. But be safe, follow rules, don't start things on fire. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.